Sorry for that odd adjustment. Still getting used to the phone. What's up, y'all? How are you doing, friends, foodies, and fellow pipers? It's your boy Jake, and got a little something I'd like to show y'all, if you're alright with that. Trying to lift the fog from my eyes. It is early afternoon, late afternoon, early evening, about 4 or 5 o'clock. I just not have not been able to wake up today. I spent the night at my girl's place and I slept fine. We even slept in. I've had some caffeine and it's just not doing it. I'm just tired. But I'm trying to drink a little more anyway to try and get moving, because I do have some things I need to do, but just wanted to talk to you guys real quick. Back on the Kona cold brew. Don't worry, Mr. Tant, it went longer than 9 hours. Last time was a fluke. I did not have the time to actually brew a mocha pot of espresso. It was just faster to just strain some off of my cold brew, so back off, man. Of course I'm kidding. I know it's no big deal. I recently have smoked through the last of my vapor stash, all my Virginia forward stuff. Everything else that's all Virginia-y right now is either kind of aromatic, bulk stuff that I'm just smoking every now and then. I want to try another vapor. Turns out what I'm about to try is not a vapor, but it's Virginia forward, and I'm just ready for something new. So, to get straight to it, I'm going to finally crack this tin of Peterson University Flake. And I'm shooting this in a couple of stages, because I've got stuff to do, and this might need to dry for a while. It might be dark out by the time I go to smoke this, so it might even have to wait till tomorrow. We'll see. But moving forward, let's crack it. What do you say? This is exciting. I don't pop tins on here very often. I'm going to need a key, methinks. Alright. Oh boy. Yup, it's there. Like I've said before, I try not to read too much to sway my view on a tobacco, but I read nothing about it when I bought it. I just wanted to try something from Peterson. And it turns out it's not actually a vapor, it's a vapor Virginia Burley Flake with a plum top note, and man, that plum comes out strong. I don't know how that's going to come out in the smoke, but I'm going to rub some of this out, let it sit for a while, because it is it's a touch tacky. This flake, it literally it feels like a stick of gum. You know how it's just got a little squish to it, just a touch of moisture. That's about the texture it feels like. So I'm going to rub some out, let it sit for probably a couple hours while I go do some things, and I'm going to come back and I'm going to smoke it and talk to you guys. So until then, I'll catch you later. Picked a heck of a time to come outside. I cracked that tin, let it sit open for a little while. Tried to let it dry. Son of a bitch. Well, that didn't go as planned. Sat out for a bit and lit up this bowl, and the wind didn't cooperate. It's actually quite windy, a bit blustery and such. It's very noisy, just oddly noisy for this hour. lots of traffic, noisy pedestrians, these guys on motorcycles just blasting music. But I did get to smoke in this for a bit. Again, this is Peterson's University Flake. So, what we're dealing with here is a blend of Virginia and burley with a plum top note. And the Virginia is very noticeable at the front. The burley kind of rounds it out for body. And the plum that I get from the tin, like very strong plum smell, doesn't quite transfer to the palate as it burns. I actually get more of a berry than a plum. Kind of nondescriptive berry. Like a very general mixed berry sort of flavor. The flavor of it is subtle. It's a bit more noticeable if you do a retrohale. I do like a half retrohale where I exhale about half through my nose and then still have some to blow out my mouth. I like how I get different layers of flavor that way. But I think I'm getting to the end of this bowl, and it's burned down to mostly just soft gray ash. See if there's anything left of that. Not much. I don't typically smoke inside, but things that have like a flavoring or an additive like this, it kind of leaves a little bit of a sweetness in the room that I don't mind much. And even though I do occasionally smoke inside when people are over, they can't tell. But of those three components, the Virginia, burley, and plum or berry, they all kind of balance each other out. Nothing overtakes the other. Though the nutty burley taste doesn't come out so much, it's kind of masked by that topping, but it just rounds out the sweetness of the Virginia, I think. It's got a fair bit of nicotine, not overwhelming, but I feel as though I've smoked tobacco after smoking this. It was a bit difficult to light, just because it was a bit moist out of the tin. It only had an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours to dry after being rubbed out. So it's still a bit moist, but once it lit, it stayed lit. I only had to relight a couple of times. But yeah, we're pretty well down to ash now. There's not much left of that. I'll come back to it again, but for a first smoke, I'd say it was pretty enjoyable. I'm not really an aromatic person, but recently I've been, experimenting a little more with tobaccos that might have a little bit of a flavoring to them. Like full-on aromatics are too much for me, but vapors or vapors, or even just straight burley blends that have just a touch of like a fruit or a vanilla topping. I've been smoking a little more often lately as the heat's kind of been coming back up. Though I am looking forward to the temperature going down a little bit in the near future. As much as I've loved summer, there are some more lat forward blends I've kind of missed smoking, and they don't jive very well in warm weather. So autumn, whenever you're ready, I'm ready for you. So that's it. I'm not going to ramble anymore. That's my first impressions and first smoke of Peterson University Flake. If it sounds interesting to you, you can pick it up from Pipes and Cigars for about $9. That seems to be the average price through Pipes and Cigars, Smoking Pipes, Cup of Joe's, all those sites. So pretty affordable stuff. If someone would have like held this up to my nose and said, "Hey, you should smoke this," I probably would have declined. But since I already purchased it, well, give it a chance. And I think I might smoke this a few more times throughout the week, and then stick some back for later. So that's all I've got. Hope you enjoyed. Till next time, best wishes and happy smokes.